What's up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be checking out the new Bettermaker Stereo Passive Equalizer. It is their newest hardware unit, and it is a Pultec EQ. And like all the other Bettermaker stuff, it is digitally controlled through a plugin or through the actual device itself. But the components are all analog, so you still have to, run it out of two XLRs if you want to use the stereo, in and out of your interface in order to be able to use it. In today's video, I thought it'd be cool to compare it to the Plugin Alliance Bettermaker Equalizer, which also has the Pultec section on it. And we can hear the differences and see which one we like better, or see what the differences are between the two. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so here is the Bettermaker plugin, and as you can see in my other camera, the Bettermaker hardware as well. And it is basically just set up like a regular Pultec. You have your low boost, your low cut, your high boost and your high cut, and then your high boost curve, which is basically, the width of the high boost curve. Pretty straightforward. Then you have your frequency selectors here. 20 is an extra one that you get with the Bettermaker that you don't normally get on a Pultec. So you get 20, 30, 60, and 100. And as you can see, I can switch them either way from the hardware or the software. Then on the high boost, you get a bunch of other frequencies that you normally don't get on a Pultec. Most Pultecs usually have 3, 8, 10, 12, and 16. This one, you get a bunch of different other selections, which is great for trying to get the best kind of curve for whatever you are mixing. You get 3, 5, 6, and then the real money is the 20 and the 28K, which can give you some really nice air, especially for mastering or vocals, that just can add a nice touch without getting too much harshness. Then you have your high cut or attenuate, and that's 5, 10, and 20. Lastly, over here is a gain knob, which is, always great to have because we know when you're boosting, you get a lot of gain. And if you're on the hardware, you can just hit this button and you see it starts blinking, and that will change your gain knob there. Other new features that is being included in a lot of the Bettermaker plugins is this new snapshot section, which is a very welcome thing. And what that essentially does is, if you're using this for mastering, which I use it quite a bit for, before they had the snapshot feature, it was a little bit of a pain to try to go from song to song to song with the EQ changing with it. And now with these snapshots, you can take really quick automated snapshots of each song, and it will switch the EQ settings. So as you can see, like in this vocal example, the snapshot changed and so did the settings. And then I go to the drums and the snapshot changes and so does the settings. So really quickly, we could skip through to the different parts of a song, or, in a mastering section when you have different songs and you have them all in one session. It will switch really quickly to change the EQ curves for whatever song or piece of audio you're going to. So it makes it a lot more flexible, being able to use this with different settings for different parts of songs. Also included is an analyzer, and if you're a fan of analyzers, when you play some audio, you'll see, the frequencies come up, and as you adjust things, it will change here as well. All right, so enough yip yap. Let's get into some examples. What we'll do first is go over some drums, and then we'll check out some vocals. So what I did here is I used EQ Curve Analyzer, which is a great little free plugin if you don't know about it. And I matched the Bettermaker plugin. Let me mute this. That's our vocal one. The Bettermaker plugin with the Bettermaker hardware, okay? And what's interesting is they're quite different in the way they react. Like the boost and cutter are slightly different. Like here it's 2.5 and there it's 2. And then what was really different is the curve, it's 7 here where it's, 1.9 here. But if you see, you can't even tell that the other one is below that. If I mute it, it should go away. No, it's still there. But these are right on top of each other. You can slightly see a difference right up here, but they're really close to the same. So let's take a listen. And what we'll do is first play the plugin, and you can see they're labeled here, and then we'll switch over to the hardware. So they sound pretty close together, right? What I do notice with the hardware is you get a little more extra girth or like thickness to it, and it is a little bit more dimensional. But you know, they are very close, and it's great to be able to use either one. So if you want to use your hardware unit for the drums and then the software for the vocal, I'd actually do it the other way because I think the hardware really shines on vocals. That can work, but great to be able to have both options available. All right, guys, so now we're going to move on to vocals, and this is where I still feel hardware can sometimes shine. It actually degrades, hardware like can sometimes degrade the audio, and in a way that it kind of rounds the transients and warm things up by degrading the audio, but it still gives it a sound that we all like. And for some reason, I think when boosting with high-end EQs, it just sounds like better than sometimes plugins do. And I don't know if that's, you know, something that will get figured out in the next couple of years, the way plugins are sounding, but I still do think the hardware sounds pretty good on vocals particularly. So what we're doing here is we're just boosting a ton of high-end. I mean, to make these match, I had to do 12 dB here and about 8 here. And if you guys see, I can pull up the EQ curves. They're basically spot on. There's a little bit of difference. The plug is a little bit higher here, but I mean, I don't think we'll be able to hear much of that. So it's pretty close. So let's take a listen to the two different EQs, and you guys can let me know what you think. So first is the plugin.
Last night I was out with the boys till 2. It's gonna take a whole month to make it up to you. I guess my heart is just a little too wild. But this is who I was the whole time. You used to make it out to every one of my shows, and now I'm begging on my knees to try to get you to go. Well, if I'm lucky, maybe when I get back, you'll be waiting with all your bags packed, and you'll be complaining. But honey, I'm done explaining why I'm working all the time, why I drink too much. I'll never settle down, I'll never smarten up. I got a bad habit of breaking hearts and breaking rules.
So there's a comparison of those two. Once again, I just feel like the hardware is a little more thicker, and then there's sometimes that nasally sound that I get with the plugin that I didn't actually get with the hardware. But just like the drums, it's close. I just think the hardware on the vocal wins out a little bit more than the actual plugin. So that is the Bettermaker Stereo Passive Equalizer. Let me know what you guys think of the examples in the comments below. Which one do you think is better? Do you think one's better than the other? What are your thoughts? I love having hardware, not only because of the sound, but to take my head away from the screen and just twist some knobs. It helps with creativity. It helps, you know, just use your ears and not be so focused on what the screen's doing. And so for those reasons, I still like using hardware when I'm mixing. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you need your songs mixed or mastered, hit me up at mixandmastermysong.com. You could also find my courses and presets there too. Talk to you soon.